You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting this morning. Let's have a peek. The first with me is a Nation newspaper, and I'll be doing this with my colleague, Etuma. Right, so quite interesting items we have on the front pages of the newspapers this morning. For instance, the Assembly lists Fubara's 19 sins. Lawmakers ask Governor, Deputy to defend gross misconduct allegations. No letter received yet. Yet there has been, back and forth regarding the executive and the legislature. That's unease, calm that we're getting from Rivers State. Some of the sins are listed as failure to present 2024 appropriation bill, unauthorized withdrawal from consolidated revenue fund, continued expenditure from consolidated revenue fund, etc., etc. How do you see this?
Well, you see, first of all, they said, show us the budget and we give you 48 hours to do that.
Yeah.
And the guy did all he could. And finally, the SSG wrote a letter to the Assembly saying, look, we're ready with the budget, we're coming. He now goes to the Assembly quarters and he's locked out, and the drama is just everywhere. It points to one thing. The sitting governor is not having fun, and the House of Assembly is gunning to impeach him. That one is very clear.
It's so sad that we're getting this, from Rivers State, especially since the president had intervened, describing Rivers as the goose that lays the golden egg. And if the goose is not in good place, then we'll lose the golden egg. So he's spoken to Pandef that they should go back and see how they can implement the Supreme Court's judgments as soon as they can. Above the nameplate, we have a drop in food. Gas prices reduces inflation to 23.18%. NBS report shows 130 basis points slash. Excuse me. Now, Dangote to build Olokola Seaport, a Tory cement plant. Good one, but we want to see more investment. We want to see more monies going into, bringing up infrastructure that will help the masses generally, but we do not want to see monopoly.
Yeah, but we... The way I'm looking at it is that the guy says he wants to build the biggest seaport, and anytime I hear things like that, my mind just goes to the number of people that will be employed, because you have a working populace, you have a good economy, because money is turning around.
Most definitely. El-Rufai stands diminished, quote unquote, with his actions, says APC. I hope that's not an innuendo there, referring to something probably.
When it gets to this period, I really enjoy all these back and forth, people saying this and people saying that. We are not going to hear enough.
That's right.
Concerning El-Rufai and his defection to SDP.
Now, so Punch newspaper is next. Impeachment move. Tension in Rivers as Assembly serves Fubara misconduct notice. Tantita tightens security. Lawmakers list 19 infractions against Governor. Amechi camp also kicks. Well, it's good to tighten security, especially with the threat to attack the oil pipelines in Rivers State. We do not want to see that happen. I'm also Dangote differ over cement plants demolition. You see that on page 7. Military attacks. Electricity workers discos blame federal government, threaten strike. I don't know whether you saw the video of some military, some members of the Nigerian army, attacking the disco. And, I saw the CCTV. It's just not good. We were talking about the Nigerian Air Force invasion of Ikeja Electric, and now we're getting Nigerian army. This is breakdown of law and order, and these are people that are supposed to be taking care of us, protecting us.
It is sad when government institutions behave in such a way that you see that there's no communication between them. All government institutions should have a way of communicating. And integrity of an institution is just like the integrity of a single man.
Yeah.
If you give a promise, you try and keep it. Now, what is bothering the military is that if we don't have electricity, we might have another bomb blast.
So they should be responsible enough to pay their debt. So if they're owing, they should pay.
So pay. If the debt is too heavy, go to the disco and have a payment plan. Yeah, negotiate a payment plan.
You know, currently, I don't think there's anyone that is as livid as myself, you know, especially now that there is heat wave and then there is no regular power supply. But we need to quickly race on. Above the masthead, Wike revokes 4,794 FCT land titles over 6.9 billion naira ground rent. 4 feared killed in Ogun cult clashes. Let's move on to this Nigeria. Still talking about Rivers crisis. Impeachment acts dangles over Fubara. I like that headline. So, you know, pictorial. Nigeria, Brazil, $1.1 billion green imperative project kicks off 6 years after memorandum of understanding. Details of Rivers Assembly's allegations of gross misconduct against Fubara on pages 6 to 16. So you go see those 19 infractions. Lawmakers seek government's urgent assistance after rainstorm damages over 100 houses in Edo State. Because of our time, I just quickly need to move on to the Blueprint newspaper. Okay. Rivers State government raises the alarm as impeachment stares Fubara deputy in the face. Dangote to build 6 MTA cement plants in the Tori, largest seaport in Ogun. And above the masthead, NSIB aero contractors signed MOU on global aviation safety standards. The Zani challenges EFCC's forfeiture orders, won't seized property returned. Just quickly spare a thought on the Zani saga.
It is surprising and interesting too that it is still lingering till now. You know, that shows you the magnitude of the deals that transpired within that period. I think the government should expedite action on that.
That's right.
Close that chapter and let's move to more urgent things.
That's right. On the bottom strip, beneficiaries of subsidies ganged up against Tinubu at inception. That's according to Bamidele. Yes, we know that corruption has been fighting back since the president then determined to also fight corruption. Next is Leadership newspaper. Electoral reforms. Political parties, stakeholders want INEC unbundled. Seek new organ to register, monitor parties. Credible election most important. We want to see credible elections ahead of 2027 and some other elections to be, you know, witnessed before then. Inflation slows for second time to 23.2% after rebasing. Tinubu appoints Kuka as Tachia Varsity Pro-Chancellor. You read that story a little earlier. And Trump orders Voice of America shut down. That's when we are having China and the global south and some other countries, you know, in Asian continents working strongly, Russia, China, all of them, to push their narrative to the African nations, scramble for Africa. US is closing down its own.
Donald Trump is the president. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. So you wouldn't expect regular things to happen. He's always doing one thing that is way out that will make people ask, why is he doing this? But as time goes on, you will now see why he's doing that.
Well, I think everyone should grab a book, Why Empires Fall. They should read it. So we might be seeing that in the offing. Yeah. Daily Independent, Naira stability, lower petrol price, cool inflation to 23.18% in February. At UN Summit, Diri makes case for Niger Delta coastal communities. Protest over moving Benue local government election tribunal to Abuja. Alleged fraud. Court adjourns Otudeko's case for settlement talks with EFCC, among others. Last but not least is the Nation Sporting Live. Because of our time, I'll try to. I won't want you to spare your thought because of our time, really. 18 Eagle stars in camp. Trus Ekong, Indidi, Lukman arrived today. Team trains this morning. Unfortunately, we want Nigeria to win. Oh, definitely.
Nigeria will win.
Most definitely.
I want to sound that way.
So you prophesied.
Oh, yes, I have.
And that's more of a prayer. All right, that's about it for the newspapers up for review. We still have more to come. Do stay with us on TVC Breakfast. We'll be right back.